In this part, we'll be building a team of AI agents to help with fundamental stock analysis automation. Specifically, we're going to be using SEC 10K data to perform and produce an analysis report that helps an investor deeply understand the business behind a stock. But first, what is SEC 10K data? It is a comprehensive report filed annually by a publicly traded company about its financial performance and is required by the SEC. For example, here is a report for the company NVIDIA filed for 2023 that contains about 200 pages of all aspects of the business that investors should know about: the market segments, financial performance, competition, risks, and many other important factors. So how are we going to approach this? We're going to be using NA10 to assemble and run our AI research team. This team is designed to mimic the structure of a human team for conducting comprehensive stock research. At the helm of the team, we have the senior research analyst who spearheads the creation of a meticulous research plan and oversees its execution. The senior research analyst is responsible for delegating tasks to the research analyst team. Our research analyst team consists of 5 diligent members who closely adhere to the senior research analyst strategic plan. These analysts meticulously scrutinize the provided information, conduct relevant analysis, and compile their findings to generate a solid basis for investment decisions. Now, the third part of our analysis team is the senior editor, and they play an important role in refining the draft output produced by the research analyst team, and then they polish it and perfect the report to make sure that it's an engaging content. Now, let's look at the architecture diagram and how this application is put together. This application has two parts, a front end and a back end. The front end is the team of agents that automatically figures out the questions to ask, and the back end is the part of the application that has the ability to answer those questions with the SEC 10K data. So let's go ahead and dive into the front end flow. So this is the end-to-end flow for the team of agents, and each of the flow here represents a part of the analysis process that is conducted. So let's start going from left to right. So there's a settings node, which we specify which company we want to analyze, followed by the first node here, which is the senior research analyst who plans the work. So in this node, it represents the senior analyst who initiates the process by crafting a detailed research plan that's tailored for the stock under investigation that's set up in the settings here. And then we use a tool here, which we call the SEC 10K tool. And this tool is trained by the specific document for the company that we're analyzing. So in the case of NVIDIA, this tool will call into the backend flow, which does the Q&A armed with the SEC 10K data. And then the tasks and objectives are defined in the research plan are then going to the next stage here, delegated to the research analyst team. So the plan is done here, and the delegation of the specific elements of the research is invoked here. And then the next node here is the researchers at work. So the researchers at work, this expands into 5 different research agents, each armed with the specific plan that's tailored for them from the senior researcher. So each of the research analysts will then also use the SEC 10K tool that understands how to answer information or answer questions and provide information for that specific company, and then returns it back to the research agent. Now, upon completing this work from this team of research agent, the senior editor gets involved. So they combine all the sections from all the researchers, and then they combine this. This is combined into a draft report, and then the senior editor then polishes the report. Lastly, there is a publish step, which there is a Google Doc that is created, and then the information from the senior editor is then uploaded to the report. So now let's look at the second template, which is used to populate and query the knowledge base. So this is effectively the same template as what we saw earlier with the HR policy example. But what we're going to do is with the upserting step, we're going to upsert in here the SEC 10K PDF for the company that we want to analyze. And on the right-hand side, we're going to be using a webhook. So this webhook will connect the URL into the SEC 10K tool that was in the front end workflow. So that's how we're going to structure the flow from back end and front end. So now let's go ahead and do a flow walkthrough. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go from building the SEC 10K information first by upserting, and then setting that in place in terms of a webhook, and then we'll then build the agent front end.